So now we're going to look at dashboards. Dashboards are the kind of next progression from reports. So you've created a lot of reports, and inevitably you want to put them onto a single dashboard so that you can see them all in one place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the filter navigator on the left again and search for dashboards, and you will see a list of options again as per usual. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on dashboards here. You can go on self-service or the performance analytics one. And what will appear is a list again of pre-built dashboards. So this is something again, when you're a system admin, you can see more than others, but it's always worth looking if there is an existing dashboard that you can use. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new one. And there's some options that we've got. So just test dashboard. We can put it within a group, so we can categorize particular dashboards and show it within a particular order. We can restrict it to roles like we said before, and the option around disabling multiple element selection, we're going to stay clear of that just for the purpose of this demonstration to keep it simple. And we can update an owner, so you might be creating a dashboard on behalf of someone, but they might be the ultimate owner, so you can update that as well. So if we just submit this, what we will be presented with in a second is a completely fresh dashboard. And what we can now do is select what I call widgets, and that's effectively reports. So again, you've got a number of things that are automatically provided when you install lots of stuff within ServiceNow. So we could go through and we could use some of these options straight away. World clocks, gauges, daily reports have already been set up, filters. There's lots and lots of functionality. But what we're going to do is we're just going to click on reports just to show you what will be presented. So helpfully, ServiceNow pre-filters your list when you click on reports of reports that were created by me, so system admin in this case, and sorted by last updated. So the last updated is at the top, and as you can see here, quite helpfully, the department breakdown report that we created in the other videos is shown at the top of the list. So we'll click on this. It gives you a little preview of what that report's going to look like, and we can add that to the dashboard straight away. So what happens now is that the reports will be added to the dashboard to cover the whole span of the dashboard. But what you can do is, based on the different reports, how you want it to look, you can actually move that around, you can make it larger, and that will actually adapt dynamically to fit in that information. So what we'll do is, if we just add a couple more reports in, we've got no data in that one, which isn't very helpful to show. Let's put an assets contract list in as well. And what else have we got? We'll choose a heat map. And can we find a single score? Let's put a single score as well. So let's put that in. So as we showed before, you can go through and basically amend the size of these to fit in how you want it to look. And it's simple as that in terms of amending it to how you want it to look. So let's just drag that and to the same height as that. And you can see that's looking a bit daft now, so we'll play around with it. We'll put it on its own row, we'll extend it out, still looking a bit daft, so we'll stretch that out a bit. And as you can see, it's a little bit of trial and error at times, but you'll soon get a feel for what looks good. So your single scores obviously can be quite condensed, so you can have a row of about 3 or 4 of those and it will look quite good. Whereas if you've got a bar chart like this or a list view, it's always quite good to get that stretched out to the span. So um, at this point, again, you would typically have a similar theme of stuff. So I've just picked some random reports. So for the purpose of this, we'll just leave it as those 4 reports on that page. But a few other things you can do is to actually create additional tabs. So you might have one which is a tab on HR profiles, and then the next one might be about position data or some other table. And what you're able to do is create another page, a new tab with lots of different reports, and so you can add a load more in here and do this however many times you want it within that dashboard. Clearly, it comes to a point where you argue whether it should sit on its own dashboard, but that is just showing the kind of some of the functionality that you can do, adding additional dashboard tabs. Other things that you can do just to ensure that the data's up to date. So I've just refreshed that. So sometimes you might want to audit, make sure that the data is the most accurate. So you've got the refresh on the top left hand corner, which will refresh all of your tables, but you can also click on each individual report. So in terms of the other options, you have the ability to delete the dashboard if you don't need it anymore. You can duplicate it if you want to use that as a template, and make a different one, slightly tweaked, but it's a good template to start from. And you can also copy the dashboard URL. And what you need to remember here is that, a bit like the reports, you have this sharing button. So once you've set up a dashboard, you then need to remember to share it to people. So again, you can do it by group, you can do it by specific users, and you can do it by ServiceNow roles. So what we're going to do here is share it with Kerry Everett. You can send them an email, and you can tell them exactly what permissions they can do as well. So let's say that they've got edit permission, so they can come and they can actually access this. They can edit it, they can change it, they could be part of your team. So you've specifically added that person in, and depending on what you select to share the dashboard with, so if that's group, user, or role, that will show up in this list. Just before we wrap up, and I've got one more thing to show you as well in terms of where to show these dashboards, is that sometimes when you've shared those dashboards, you have shared it on this dashboard page, and the users will go in and they'll try and access it and they won't be able to see some of this information. And often this is where you'll need to go into each individual report and share it, because again, from a ServiceNow standpoint, they err on the side of caution and then default it to only limiting it to you, the creator, as the as the only person who can actually view that and edit that report. So it's slightly frustrating, but sometimes, yes, you will have to go in and go and update those reports to share it to all those people. And again, that's a good example of why you should go with groups rather than individual users, so it's easier to manage those permissions. So the last thing that I will show is a nice, helpful part of the platform, and it's actually already done it for me. So on your home page, so typically when you navigate to the back end of the platform, you will land on this self-service homepage. And ServiceNow's got a really nice option where you can choose what dashboard is open to you. So you've logged into the system first time in the day, and you're presented with this dashboard almost immediately. And what we can do here is just to show you that you're able to access different ones. So I've just loaded all dashboards there, and it's given me all of these different options. So let's click on the Human Resources Overview dashboard. And as you can see, there's no data within here, so this is performance analytics. But again, just to prove it, let's just try and find another one to show that this actually works. Let's go with ITIL dashboard. And here we can see we've got some numbers coming in. There's not a huge amount of data within this demo instance, but we've quickly been able to flip onto this. So whenever you land on this home page, you'll be presented with those things, and those are typically going to be the most critical things that you care about when you're accessing the system. So again, nice bit of functionality in presenting those dashboards to you when you need it the most. So that's dashboards. Thank you very much.